Hello and welcome back to Kirby Squeak Squad for the Nintendo DS Part 6. And in this part we'll be going through the ice levels.
Red Kirby, go!
Now, the ice levels in general are somewhat lengthy, hence the length of the part, but what the ice levels really do is showcase the different elemental advantages that you can have on certain powers. Like, the fire power in particular will melt snow and ice. The ice power will actually freeze water. You know, cool stuff.
Now, how did Kirby break that ice floor? He just kicks it.
Yes, he slides it.
Stun lock him.
Well, you can't stun lock with ice, sadly. But we need animal for a couple of treasures. Well, at least a treasure in here.
It's one of three. Ain't no party like an animal costume party, hey!
Because an animal costume party does not have Big Mama's references, is it?
Oh, cool, he can climb upwards.
Yep.
Nice.
Climbing upwards is awkward as shit, though.
Man, there's a lot of layers here.
Yep.
And the door. Boomski.
So what particular questions do you have for me today, Mr. Cloud?
My question is, how much ice is nice?
A small amount.
Small amount of ice is nice.
I would go so far as to say a large amount of ice is nice, but then I have to remember that a large amount of ice could be drastically worse.
You need a small amount of ice for drinks. You need a large amount of ice for sinks.
Not sure about that, honestly.
I mean, I'd say the game so far is... Oh, I don't think I've seen this power yet.
Yeah, we've seen Wheel.
Which is why you relinquish it immediately. Yep, and there it goes. I mean, I don't really... I'm following. I'm digging the Kirby grind. Now he's a ninja.
No, he's a throw.
Now he's a throw. And that is a rock.
No, that is a metal. I thought you said you were digging the grind, dude.
No, I am digging the grind, but doesn't mean that I know the names all the time. I know... This guy's name is Squeak.
Actually, the Squeaks all have different names. I don't know them.
That one was Roger.
Alright, Roger the Bully.
I was gonna say Roger the Jolly, but okay. Because he's got an eye patch.
And with that, we have the Sword Scroll. Getting the Sword Scroll just gives you access to elemental powers with the sword, specifically fire.
Nice.
It's nice. It's also mostly useless.
So they upgrade all of the powers in this game with the drops, with the end level drops. Nice. Okay, well.
Well, with the scrolls, each particular power scroll is in a different level, and they all do relatively the same thing. Like, you usually get either a new attack or a slightly new functionality.
Yeah.
For example, Bomb Scroll, which we do not have yet, and just increases its blast radius and damage output.
It's always nice. Increased blast radius, especially. Oh, there's your fire. I gotta go back, get the fuse, and light the cannon and jump inside. And Kirby will be nice and cozy in the cannon.
Deleting some ice in order to make this slightly easier.
Alright, fuse is lit. Oh god, it's moving fast. What happens if you miss it?
The fuse will regenerate so that you can try again.
Oh.
Mind you, there really isn't a point for me to go up there since I missed one of the earlier mini Kirbys.
You did. I was wondering, like, was there a trap over there? Did you not want to activate the trap?
No, I just skipped it over.
Phooey.
Apparently, cannons actually do have HP, but you can't deal damage to them. So I'm confused as to why they have HP.
How do you know they have HP if you can't damage them?
Every time you hit an enemy, their HP bar shows up on screen.
Oh. Well, just dropped off into a pit. That probably killed it.
Probably.
This guy's name is...
Can we just call him Ninja?
Ninja? Yeah, we can call him Ninja. So we got Roger and Ninja.
Okay.
Fucking squeak the crap out of him. Take the contents of my mouth.
And this is what you have to do if you decide to just try these fights without a power-up.
Yeah, you have to pick up random objects from the map. Oh, you can kick him.
Yes, you can kick him while he's down to have him drop food items.
What?
It's a great way to heal up.
When did Kirby first gain his kick?
I want to say Superstar, actually. I don't think that that Adventure or Dreamland 1 had access to the slide.
No, I don't think they did. So normally you were without recourse if Kirby didn't have any powers or if he didn't have an object that he could spit out.
No, except for the air bubble.
Except for the air bubble, yeah. I remember this is level theme 2 from Dreamland, I think.
I apparently left in this pause. Huh.
Swallow enemies
I didn't even know I had a pause
and
here.
Squat to copy their abilities.
Yep.
These are the controls. There are only
Yes.
like 2 of them. Very simple game. Oh, I didn't even realize you had changed Kirby's color.
Yep, I changed it to snow.
You fit.
I try and change it each time that we get a new paint for him, but I did miss out on a couple earlier on.
It does look like the way they want you to roll out the upgrades.
Now I've got to pause for out of game reasons. I don't understand how I missed this.
No, it reminds me of the Megatron versus Optimus Prime episode we did, where I just paused for no fucking reason in the middle of it.
And it doesn't mean it was a good thing.
No, I'm saying wait.
Alright, Upgraded Spark. Upgraded Spark has got, as I believe I actually already did cover, has got a superior spark attack that you can do after fully charging it.
Yeah.
And you can charge it by spamming movement commands. Much like Superstar's version of Plasma.
Nice speedrunning.
It's not really that much speed run, just just a slight skip.
No.
You do want to go down here if you're looking for the chests, because the up path just sends you forward throughout the level, and down will give you access to the hammer, which you need either hammer, stone, or metal in order to push down the peg in order to get one of the chests. From here, a majority of the chests are locked behind. Well, actually, throughout a good portion of the game, the chests have been locked behind specific power needs. But this is one of the few times where it's not just a power that you need; it's also a specific path that you need to take.
Right. I mean, pathfinding in this game, you're mostly concerned with just finding the star with a little hole under it saying, go through here. Like right there. Mm-hmm. You should go to that place. This is Marvin.
Sure. I would prefer to call him Ludwig, but yeah, Marvin works.
You know what? I think his name is Ludwig.
Okay, Ludwig. Ludwig von Squeak. There.
Bye, Ludwig. Ludwig von Squeak.
And with that, we have memorized Fighter and gotten another piece of heart.
Yeah, hey.
Memorized Fighter does not honestly do anything that cool. Just increases the fireball, I think. Since I don't actually show off Fighter for most of the playthrough, I have forgotten. It's weird because in Superstar, Fighter is actually a really awesome ability. Here, it's useful, but with less attack commands, it is not as useful as you really want it to be.
It looks like Hammer's pretty useful for enemies that don't have a lot of health because of the range, but enemies that do have a lot of health might damage you.
Yeah, mostly because although Hammer is one of the hardest hitting powers in the game, it is not nearly as awesome as Tornado is.
Yeah. Ah, missed time.
Ouch.
Come on, Kirby, you can fit Big Waddle Dee.
With a charged inhale, yes, but not with a normal one.
I'd say as early as Dreamland 1, Kirby has made it perfectly clear that there is no limit to how big he can get depending on the things he consumes.
Well, Triple Deluxe certainly has that philosophy, but
I remember at the end of Dreamland 1, Kirby, he has to float like his home or something, but he turns into a giant a Kirby-shaped Zeppelin in order to return it.
The ending of Spring Breeze.
Kissy face.
If you inhale these particular enemies, they attach to your face instead.
Yeah.
And don't inhale these either because they are actually bombs in disguise.
Yeah.
Attempting to inhale them will cause them to get enraged at you.
Yeah, those were the guys that get enraged, because when it used to be that when you just turn your back on them, then they get upset and start following you. And
So they used to be boos?
basically, yeah, they were exploding boos.
Ouch.
Beam.
Again, Beam's upgrade just gives it spark properties, meaning that it will have a small energy projectile that travels along metal.
Lots of pits and lots of tight spaces in the previous parts. These levels are getting harder.
Slightly.
Slightly harder.
Ouch.
It's felt like God mode for most of the game so far.
Ouch.
Door. Aurora. Bomb.
So what's new with Mr. Cloud today?
Oh, what's new with me today is that I get to play Magic the Gathering with hopefully up to 4 of my buddies. We'll probably get...
You gonna do Commander?
No Commander. I used to have a Commander deck. It was when I was trying to run Mono White with Brymaz. Brymaz is fucking awesome.
That's a very popular Commander deck, honestly.
Yeah, like you want to use the low drop Commander eligible cards. The lower the better.
I don't actually agree with that because then Mikhail would be awesome, and I can't get Mikhail to work.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this: when your commander gets like destroyed or removed from the field, how do you? What is the penalty in the games you've played?
It depends on how much damage it takes. If your commander takes, I believe it's 10 damage, then you lose the game.
Wait, so you play commander like so he's another entity on the battlefield?
Not to start. He does have his own command zone, but in order to actually gain the benefits on his card, you need to actually cast him and put him onto the battlefield.
Right.
So, if you have successfully cast your commander and he's on the battlefield, if he were to take 10 damage, then you lose the game.
So, Okay, so in other words, he never returns to the commander zone once he's cast.
He does return to the commander zone if he takes too much damage.
But don't you lose if he takes too much damage?
Yes, you lose if he takes too much damage.
Huh.
You do have to keep track of how much damage has been dealt to him.
Right. He has, in other words, he has his own independent life counter.
Yes.
It's interesting, because the way that me and my buddies played Commander was dramatically different. How it was the win condition was still that you had to take out your opponent's life points down to 0 or what have you. But your commander, whom you cast from the commander zone for his converted mana cost at the start of the game, if your commander is destroyed by effects that destroy, or if he takes enough damage for it to die, he returns to the commander zone, at which time the cost that you must pay in order to cast him is increased by 2 colorless, in addition to his converted mana cost and all previous increases to his casting costs.
That sounds exactly like the rule set that we used.
Well, yeah, but the rules... It's different because the rules that you use say that when your commander dies, that's it, you lose.
No, if he takes 10 damage, you lose.
Oh, but if he's destroyed, then he just goes back to the commander zone?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting. So that means that...
Alright, this is the mini-boss rush for the game. And yes, it is a mini-boss rush.
God.
Now, we have to fight each of the squeaks.
Oh, of course. Stun lock. Trap him. Exploit the level. You gotta be kidding me.
Now, you can't do this to Ludwig, because, you know, he's in a saucer for a majority of the fight. But, you can do it to literally all the other squeaks. Well, except for Leader. Leader you can't do it to, but there's a reason for that. I have 2 invincibility candies.
Roger. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Nope, now he's stunned.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and it's...
Sometimes it is just too easy.
Resupply, and here's Ludwig. In all of his derpy glory. What?
Thankfully, Ludwig actually has pretty small amount of HP in comparison.
Yeah, because, yep, and
there, he's
Ludwig
gone.
can just fly through the map.
Yep.
He is not bound by level constraints. And I guess the Kirby's changed colors again.
Yeah. I showed off chalk for the one level that we had it, but now we're under. Is it? It's not lavender or grape. I forget what color this technically is.
Grape sounds like an appropriate color. You know.
It's too light for it.
It would be.
All right. Here is Leader. He is a main boss in the game.
Yeah, I'll say he's moved.
This is how I would prefer to handle every single boss in the game. Grab Elemental Tornado and just spam it at them. Unfortunately, several bosses do not succumb to Elemental Tornado because of their environments.
Yeah. Alright, so now you got on top of him, because as long as you got Tornado, you don't take touch damage, but you're also outside of the laser beam range.
Well, not the laser beam range, where, while you're in Tornado, you're literally immune to damage. It's awesome.
Damn.
At last, the squeaks are in sight, and Kirby is closing in. His precious shortcake is within reach.
What in
the world? Meta Knight swoops down and nabs the treasure.
Meta Knight, how could you?
In a flash, he sails through the Star Door, leaving Kirby behind. Damn you, Antonio Banderas! The Star Door will never open up without the 5-star seals. Luckily, we're at 100% currently. Kirby carefully places the 5-star seals in the door, and
in the next part, we go through the door
to World 8!
Now for the cake.
Or is it World 7? It's World 7. Okay.
So,
Now be safe, everybody.